Hello friends, good evening to all. So all are getting my screen and voice. Please let me confirm. So you guys are getting my screen and voice. Please let me confirm on chat box. Alright. So today we are going to discuss about very important topic in entire Python. Not only in Python. If you go for C++, Java, Python, anywhere, this concept is very important. Without having complete knowledge on this concept, right, don't attend for any interviews also. Without having complete knowledge on this concept, don't go for interviews also. Very important interview point of view as well as day-to-day programming also. What topic we are going to discuss? Here we are going to discuss about OOPS concepts. What is this OOP? OOP means what? Object oriented programming. Object oriented programming. OOP in the sense object oriented programming, very important topic. So we are going to spend minimum 10 days on this topic. Minimum 10 classes we have to spend on this topic. Very important. See, please concentrate on this. Very important. Object oriented programming. As per today's session, I am going to talk about what is class, how to define a class, how to represent the data inside a class, what is object, what is a reference variable, So these are the topics I am going to discuss as per today's session. We are going to discuss about, so these 5 topics. What is class? How to define a class? How to represent the data inside a class? What is object? What is reference variable? So these are the main topics which we are going to discuss as per today's session. Right. So first let me talk about what is a class. Any idea what is a class? So now assume I want to construct one building. Right. So if you want to construct any building, first what we required some good plan. Without having that plan, we can't able to start the building construction. We can't able to start. If you want to construct a building or if you want to manufacture a car, what we required first? We required some plan must be required. We require some design. We require some blueprint. Then only we can able to start the work. So now you guys want to manufacture one car. Before starting that manufacturing, what we required on paper, we required some plan. According that plan only we are going to start the work. According that plan only we can able to start the work. We require some blueprint, we require some design, then only we can able to start the work. So that blueprint whatever we have, that design whatever we have, that plan whatever we have is nothing but a class, is nothing but a class. Once you got that design, once you got that design, once you got that plan, once you got that blueprint, we can able to start the construction of the building. Here what is a class? A class is nothing but a blueprint or plan or model which is nothing but a class, right? So after completing the building you can able to get the physical existence. After construction completed you can able to get the physical existence. On paper whatever we have, that plan we implemented. After completing that construction, what we are getting on paper, whatever we have, that design, whatever the design we have on paper, same thing we are getting physically. That physical existence of the plan is nothing but a object. Here 2 points I am discussing. What is a class? A class is nothing but a plan or a design or blueprint, right? Physical existence of the plan or design or blueprint is nothing but a object. Here 2 points. To create object, what we required? Compulsory we required. If you want to see, to construct a building, we required some design or model or blueprint. We required some design or model or blueprint, which is nothing but a class. To construct a building we required some design or model or blueprint, which is nothing but a class. Here one more point what we are discussing, the physical existence. The physical existence of a class is called as object. Here 2 points we are discussing. What is class? What is object? What is class? A plan or model or blueprint is nothing but a class, right? The physical existence of a class is called as object. If you want to construct a building, first we require a model or blueprint or design. On paper whatever we have the design, model or blueprint, that is nothing but a class. After completing the construction we will get physical existence. Physical existence of a class is called as object. Is it clear? What is class? What is object? Here if you want to create, now here I will write one more point. To create object, we require some design or model or blueprint, which is nothing but a class. Can I say like this? To create object, here physical existence is nothing but a object. To create object we require some design or model or blueprint, which is nothing but a class. Is it clear? Is it clear? See here, I want to construct one building. Here I want to construct one building. See, to create this building, so like this, some plan must be required. See, this is the hall, this is the bedroom, this is the kitchen, like this. Some plan must be required. So where we are taking this plan? On paper we are taking this plan. This plan or blueprint or design is nothing but a class. So building got completed. Whenever I got this plan, I started the construction, and construction also completed. You can able to see the physical existence whatever we have on the paper. That physical existence is nothing but a object. So this design is nothing but a what? Class. Design is nothing but a class. Physical existence of that design is nothing but a object. So these 2 points are clear. What is class? What is object? Right. So if you want to create object, compulsory class must be required. If you want to create, compulsory class must be required. Right. Class is a blueprint or a plan or a design, anything we can use to create the object. Correct. If you want to create any object, compulsory class must be required. For that classes only we can able to create the object. For that classes only we can able to create the object. Is it clear? Right. Here we can say like this. If you wanted to create an object, if you wanted to create an object, we required some design, model or blueprint. Which is nothing but a class. That's it. Is it clear? If you want to create an object, what we require? Compulsory class must be required. For that classes only we can able to create the object. Without having class, we can't able to create the object. Here what is object? What is a class? Class is nothing but a model or plan or blueprint or design is nothing but a class. Based on that class, we can able to create the object. Based on that class, we can able to create the object. Right. So now, if you want to create any class, how we can able to create the class? How to create the class? How to create the class? Alright. So at the time of discussing 33 reserved keywords, I told one keyword which is nothing but a class. Class. If you want to define any class, compulsory it should be starts with this class keyword. If you want to define any class, compulsory it should be starts with class keyword. After that, take space. Here we have to take class name. Class name. At the end we have to take this colon symbol. Right? Class name, colon. Inside this class, whatever we have to take. Inside this class, whatever we have to take. Here, inside the class we can take, right, variables, data members, data variables we can take, and after that here member functions. Member functions we can take it here. Right, inside the class what we are taking, variables we are taking, and methods also, otherwise take like this, methods. methods. Like this we can take it here. How to define the class? Class is the keyword we have to use. After that, class name we can take anything. Class name we can take anything. Right, at the end we have to take this colon symbol. Inside that class we have to define the variables, data variables. After that, methods we have to take. Methods we have to take inside that. Right. So now, so one more thing here. Class name we can take anything. Class name we can take any name we can take. But here we have to follow some naming conventions. What we have to follow? The class name should start with uppercase letter. Class name should start with uppercase letter. Even if you take a small lowercase letter also, it won't return any error. But for naming standard, we have to follow some standards. So that's why class name should start with uppercase letter. Inside that class, what we can take? Inside the class, we can take variables and methods also. Inside that, we can take variables and methods. Right. So like this, we have to define a class. So now, see here, I will take one example class. Example class I am taking like this. Class customer. Here class is the keyword and customer is the name of the class. Class is the keyword, customer is the name of the class. Inside this class, inside the class, what I am going to take? Inside the class, right, we can take variables we can take, and methods also we can take it here. See now here, I am writing one constructor. So what is this init? I will explain in next class. Right, just remember this is constructor. Right, in Python, if you see anywhere with init name, if you see anywhere, so this name and init means, just remember this is the constructor. In Python, if you see anywhere init name means that is the constructor. That is the constructor. Suppose if you go for other programming languages like C++ and Java, constructor name should be same as class name. Whatever class name we have, same name we have to take for constructor name also. Here customer is the class name. For constructor also we have to take same name in C++ and Java. But coming to Python, constructor in the sense only we have to take this name. Underscore, init, underscore. Apart this, we can't able to take any other names. Constructor in the sense we have to take only this name. What is constructor? Right, we'll explain. We'll see in next classes. Right, here just remember this is the constructor. Inside this constructor, I am going to take some variables. How to take the variables inside the constructor? So like this, I am taking self dot C number. Customer number is equal to 101. C number is equal to 101. I am taking self dot C name is equal to Raju. Self dot C address is equal to Bangalore. So like this. Here C number, C name, C address, these are the variable names. What is a self? I will explain later classes. I will explain about self. Right. So just remember C number, C name, C address, these are the variables. Where I am taking these variables? Inside the constructor I am taking these variables. Right. So now here I am going to write one method also. Def m1 method I am writing like this. M1 method I am writing like this. Now inside this what I am going to do? Here I am going to display all this data. Print display customer data. Right. So now here print customer name. Self dot customer number. First one customer number I am taking. Self dot C number. print customer name self dot cname print customer address self dot c address. Right, see inside the class, here this is the class and class name. Inside the class what I am taking, variables I am taking, and methods also I am taking. And m1 is the method, constructor also one type of method only. Forget about constructor, I will explain later. In detail what is constructor. Right, here just remember this is the method, m1 is the method, and what I am taking apart this method, and variables also I am taking, c number, c name, address, these are the variables, and here I am taking method also. So now how many ways we can take these variables, and how many ways we can take these variables? See, what is the purpose of these variables, and by using these variables we can represent the data inside the class. Right, c number is equal to 101. To represent this 101, this data, here data means what? 101, Raju, Bangalore, these are the data. And to represent this data I am taking variables. To represent the data we can define the variables. See, to represent data we can define the variables in multiple ways. Here what we are taking, inside the class we are taking variables. What is the purpose of these variables? To represent the data. To represent the data we are taking these variables. Right, to represent the data we can define variables in multiple ways. And what are the different ways we have? One is instance variables. Second one is static variables. Third one is local variables. These are the three types of variables we have in Python. And in entry room if they ask to represent the data inside a class, how many ways we can take the variables? To represent the data inside the class, how many ways we can take the variables? Three ways: instance variables, static variables, and local variables. Instance variables, static variables, and local variables. Here instance variables are nothing but we can say like instance variables are nothing but object level variables. Whenever we created the object, right, initialization will be performed for this instance variables. Right, whenever we create the object, at that time only initialization will be performed this instance variables. Static variables are nothing but here we can say like class level variables. Right, to define this static variables, so to load static variables, object is not required. Without creating object also we can load static variables, we can create static variables. That's why I am saying static variables are nothing but class level variables. Whenever we created the class, at that time automatically static variables also will be loaded. Whenever we loaded a class, automatically static variables also will be loaded. But when instance variables will be created, at the time of object creation only. Whenever object got destroyed, automatically all instance variables will be destroyed. Right? Whenever class got destroyed, at that time these static variables also will be destroyed here. Next one is local variables. Local variables are nothing but method level variables. Inside a method, sometime based on our requirement, inside a method we can define our own local variables also. Based on our requirement, sometimes we can declare local variables also inside a method. Right, those local variables we can't able to access from outside of the method. Only within that method only we can able to access those local variables. Right, only within that method only we can able to access those local variables. Outside of the method we can't able to access this local variables. Is it clear? To represent data inside a class, we can define the variables in three ways. One is instance variables, static variables, local variables. Instance variables are nothing but object level variables. Static variables are nothing but class level variables. Local variables are nothing but method level variables. Right. If you want to create instance variables, if you want to define instance variables, compulsory object must be required. If you want to define static variables, class must be required. Where we can declare local variables? Inside method only we can able to declare local variables. Is it clear? Up to now what we have seen? Please go through this. What is class? A class is nothing but a design or blueprint or model, anything. Right. So if you want to create any object, compulsory class must be required. Without having class, we can't able to create the object. Right. So how to define a class? If you want to define a class, compulsory we have to start with class keyword. Class keyword. After that class name we have to take any name, we can take it here. At the end this colon symbol we have to take. Inside class what we can represent, what we can define. Inside the class we can take variables and methods. We can take variables and methods. Right. Now if you want to, what is the purpose of these variables? What is the purpose of these variables? To represent the data inside the class, we have to take these variables. To represent the data, see here 101 Raju Bangalore, this is the data. To represent this data, here what I am taking, here I am taking variables. By using this C number, C name, C address, what we are doing, we are representing this data. By using C number, C name, C address, here C number, C name, C address, these are the variables. By using these variables, we are representing data 101 Raju Bangalore. Inside the class, to represent the data, we can define the variables in three ways. What three ways are there? Instance variables, static variables and local variables. Right? So at the same time, here methods also we can take in three ways. Methods also we can take in three ways inside the class. What three ways are there? What three ways? One is instance methods. Instance methods. Second one is class level methods. Class level methods. Third one is static methods. Static methods. So these are the three types of methods we have. Inside the class we can take instance methods and we can take class level methods and we can take static methods also. Inside the class we can take instance methods, class level methods and static methods also we can take inside the class. Right. So next, so one more thing, here just we see. If you want to create any object, compulsory what we required, class must be required. Class must be required. So now here I have a class. I have customer class is there. Customer class is there. Now for this class I want to create the object. I have customer class. Now I want to create the object. How we can able to create the object? If you are not creating object for this class, means you can't able to access this method and all these things from outside of the class. Here what we have to do, here I want to create the object. Right, here instance variables are there. Instance variables are there. How you can able to access the instance variables? By using object, we can able to access the instance variables. How you can able to access the instance method? By using object, we can able to access instance method. Now for this customer class, I want to create the object. How you will create the object? First tell me what is the object. Physical existence of the class is nothing but a object. And here we can say like this. What is object? Physical existence of a class is called as object. Physical existence of a class is called as object. And so now how to create the object? Here I have customer class. For this customer class, how to create the object? Very, very simple. So now see here, reference variable name equal to class name and parenthesis. Like this we have to take. And right here reference variable name is equal to class name. After class name we have to take these parentheses. This is the way of creating the object inside Python. How we can able to create the object? Like this we have to create. So now here I have customer class. For this customer class, how to create the object? How to create the object for customer class? Here reference variable name we can take anything. Reference variable name we can take anything. So here I am taking C is the reference variable name equal to class name. Class name means what? Customer is the class name. At the end parenthesis we have to take. So like this we have to create the object. C is that. Now this is the object for customer class. This is the object for customer class. Right. Now if you observe it here, it will create the object like this. C is the reference variable for this object. C is the reference variable for this object. C is the reference variable for this object. See, whenever we created the object at here, customer, C is equal to customer, internally it will create the like this. This is the object, customer object. C is the reference variable this for this object. Inside this object, whatever we have, inside object what we have, instance variables are there. Whatever the data is available inside the object. If you want to access that data, how we can able to access? By using this reference variable we can able to access. Inside the object, if you have the data, if you want to access that data, how we can able to access? By using this reference variable, we can able to access the data from the object. We can able to access the data from the object. So now I will show. Give me 1 minute. See here, same thing I am taking it here. Customer class I am taking it here. Customer class is there. Customer class. Inside customer class what I am taking? One constructor I am taking, one method I am taking. Inside constructor what I am taking? I am taking some variables, C number, C name, C address to represent this data. Right, inside M1 method what I am doing? I am printing that data. Here whatever the data is there, that data I am printing inside the method. Right. So now here what I did, right, I created customer object. Now whenever we created the customer object, internally what it will happen? Whenever we created customer object, internally this constructor will be executed for initialization purpose. for initialization purpose, right? What it will do, whenever we created the object, automatically constructor will be executed for initialization purpose. For object initialization purpose, constructor will be executed. We no need to call that constructor explicitly. Just if you create the object like this, internally this constructor will be executed automatically. And right inside this constructor, whatever the data is there, whatever the instance, these variables are instance variables. I will explain what is instance variables. Inside this constructor, whatever the instance variables are there, all those instance variables will be added to the object. What it will happen, whenever we created the object, automatically constructor will be executed and all instance variables will be added to the object. See here what is happening here. See, object got created like this, and internally what's happening, instance variable whatever we have inside the class, that instance variables will be added to this object. What we have, C number, like this, C number 101, C name Raju, C address Bangalore. So like this, here whatever the data is there, whatever the variables are there, all those things will be added to the object like this internally. Whenever we created the object, automatically this constructor will be executed, and inside this constructor, whatever the instance variables are there, all those instance variables will be added to the object like this. Now, if you want to access this data, if you wanted to access this data by using this reference variable, we can able to access. By using a reference variable, we can able to access from outside of the class. Now see, so now here what I want to do, array boss, inside this C, you are telling whenever constructor is executed, automatically, whenever object got created, automatically constructor will be executed and instance variables will be added to this object. Where is the proof? For that, here what I will do, here just I will take like this, print, array boss, inside C, whatever data is there, that data print in the form of dictionary. I am asking. Right here what I am doing, C is what? A reference variable for this object. C is referring to this object. Now inside this object, whatever the data is there, how we can able to access? By using this reference variable. Here what I am doing, inside this C, whatever the data is there, that data print in the form of dictionary. I am asking that. Now if any data is added to this object, that data it will be print in the form of dictionary. Now please observe it here. See what we are getting inside the dictionary, C number 101, C name Raju, C address Bangalore. This data already added to the object, already added inside the object. Because of that reason only, right, if you print like this, C dot dictionary, it is printing complete data like this. C number, C name, Raju, address, like this it is printing. Suppose, see here I am not taking any data. See here I am not taking any data, just I am taking empty like this. I am taking it here. Empty I am taking like this. So now what's happened? Now if I run this one, see, and empty boss, nothing is there. See, whenever object got created, constructor will be executed. In that case, whatever the data, whatever the instance variables are available inside the constructor, those instance variables will be added to the object. Those instance variables will be added to the object. But here I am not taking any instance variables inside the constructor. So just empty object will be created. Constructor will be executed only, but object will be created empty. Empty object will be created. Inside the object there is no data. That's why it is printing empty dictionary like this. Empty dictionary like this. So now here I am taking like this. And here I will take one more variable also. Self dot C salary is equal to, right, here I will take 10,000. Right, save this one. Now run this one. Now if you run this one, here you will get a salary also. Salary also added to this object. Is it clear? Whenever we created the object, automatically constructor will be executed. Inside constructor, whatever the instance variables are there, all those instance variables will be added to the object. See, any explanation is required up to here? What we discussed, what is class is clear, what is object is clear, how to create the object is clear, how to define a class is clear. Next, if you want to represent the data inside the class, how many ways we can represent is clear. Clear all these things? Any explanation is required? Please respond. Is it clear? Guys, you guys are getting my voice? Please respond. Can I continue? Right. So now here what I am saying, C is a reference variable. C is the reference variable. Now tell me, what is a reference variable? What is a reference variable? What is a reference variable? See, reference variable in the sense, here what we are doing, here we are taking C like this. The variable which can be used to refer the object. The variable which can be used to refer this object. Reference variable in the sense, the variable which is referring to this object. Right? The variable which can be used to refer the object. Refer the object is called as a reference variable. What is the reference variable? The variable which can be used to refer the object is called as reference variable. Is called as reference variable. The variable which can be used to refer the object. Here what this variable is doing, right? By using this variable we are referring this object, right? C means this object will trigger. C means this object only will be called. Inside this object, whatever the data is available, that data we can able to access by using this variable. That data we can able to access by using this reference variable. Is it clear? The variable which can be used to refer the object is called reference variable. Now, by using this reference variable, we can access variables and variables and methods which are available in the object. Inside object, whatever the variables are there, whatever the methods are there, we can access those variables and methods by using this reference variable. Clear? What is reference variable? The variable which when you use it to refer the object. The variable which can be used to refer the object is called as reference variable. By using reference variable, we can access variables and methods which are available in the object. Where is the proof, boss? Where is the proof? See, here inside the class instance method is there. Inside the class instance method is there. Now outside of the class, if you want to access this method, by using this reference variable only we can able to access. By using this reference variable only we can able to access. See, like this, c dot m1, c dot m1. Now if you run this program, inside m1 method, whatever the print functions are there, all those things will be executed. Here what we are doing, by using reference variable, I am trying to access this m1 method. Here m1 method is the instance method. So this m1 method also is available inside this object. Inside the object, inside customer object, instance methods also available. Whenever you called explicitly that method will be executed and it will print the output like this. See, display customer data, customer number, customer name, customer address, we are getting like this. Here what we are doing, by using this reference variable, we are trying to access this m1 method. We are accessing this m1 method. What is this m1 method? m1 method is the instance method. Where this m1 method is available? Inside object. Whenever we created the object, these instance variables and instance methods will be added to the object. If you want to print, if you want to call instance methods, by using object reference we can able to call like this. Is it clear? So now this point is clear, correct or not? The variable which can be used to refer the object is called as a reference variable. By using reference variable, we can access variables and methods which are available in the object, which are available inside object. Right? So now variables also we can access, boss. See, print c dot cname. Now it will print cname also like this. See, Raju, cname also it is printing Raju. So like this, by using this reference variable, we can access variables and methods which are available inside the object. Whenever we created the object, these instance variables will be added to the object, and these instance methods also available inside the object. By using this reference variable, we can able to access that instance variables and instance methods from outside of the class. Is it clear? Please respond, clear? Clear? So what we discussed so far? What is a class? What is class? How to define a class? How to represent the data inside the class? What is object? What is a reference variable? What is class? And a class is nothing but a, see here I will write, a class is nothing but a design or plan or blueprint. Right. So next, how to define a class? Right. Class keyword, class name, colon. Right. Inside that we have to inside we have to write, we can define variables and methods. Right. Variables, methods we can take inside the class. How to represent the data inside the class? Right, here we have three ways. And what three ways we have? Instance variables, Second one is static variables. Third one is local variables. Local variables. Next, what is object? Physical existence of a class is called as object. Is called as object. How to create object? Like this. Reference variable equal to class name, like this we can take it, right? So what is the reference variable? What is the reference variable? The variable which can be used to refer the object is called as reference variable. Reference variable. By using this reference variable, we can access variables and methods which are available inside the class. We can access variables and methods which are available inside the class. These are the points which we discussed in today's session. Is it clear? Any explanation is required about these points? Any explanation is required? Please confirm. Please confirm once. Any explanation is required about these points? Right. So if you guys are okay, right, I'm going to stop the session today. I'll continue remaining things in next class. Remaining things we'll discuss in next class. Thank you guys.